Welcome to the Guitar Pirates Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Episode 5 Alive of the Guitar Pirates Podcast. And I am your host, Josh Jones.
And I am your co-host, Jim Steger.
What is up, Jim? It's the middle of the night again.
It's May.
It's May. We
May.
made it. We made it.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
I'm so tired of that.
I know. It's ridiculous. Well, or like Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
That one, I mean, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but
that one's all right.
I like that one.
That one's all right.
I
think as I got older and I got in and I could realize, like, understand the story, that's when I got into it. I was never super into Star Wars until like 30 plus. It's just odd for me. I don't know.
I'm a blasphemous guy. I know all the characters. I can't watch it.
I don't blasphemize anybody. To each their own, man. Like, there's no need to get on somebody because they don't like something.
I'd rather go into that than look at Raymond Noodle hair, Justin Timberlake.
Yes, back to that. But guys, what's up out there? I want to, first off, before we jump into Dirty Laundry, I want to thank everybody, basically just all our friends, for accepting the Facebook invite.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys, I think we're clocking 30 people right now on our page. Yeah.
And I want to shout out to Tommy Walter. I'm sorry I didn't, tell you.
We'll get into him here in just a bit. But guys, jumping right into Dirty Laundry, back to Tommy again.
Yeah.
Tommy, I apologize. I think I called Kiss Italians, and they're Jewish.
Well, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
The tan and the hair. I know. It threw me off. But anyway, I apologize. I apologize, Tommy. Don't get us. The heels and quads guys will come get us.
Yeah,
guys, if you're out there listening, check out that podcast. It's a pro wrestling based podcast.
Check it out. It's
with
very,
Tommy
very
Walters
good.
And whoever he's doing that with. Shout out to him. I can't think of his name. I don't know his name. Tommy's going to kill us again. It'll be something good for Dirty Laundry for next week.
Yeah, I'm going to get shot because I know who it is, and
find that out for us.
I just
as we
went
move
completely.
Along, and we'll interject. But yeah, shout out to the Heels and Quads guys as we move along past our first segment of the May 2nd edition. Sorry, the time has just flipped over. The May 2nd edition.
Levi Zindel, sorry.
Levi Zindel. Guys, shout out to Levi and Tommy for doing the Heels and Quads. Maybe we can do an inter-podcast mingle, something fun. But anyway, that is our Dirty Laundry segment for the May 2nd Guitar Pirates Podcast. And we're going to roll right on in to this day in music. But as with a caveat here, it is the weekend edition, so we are going to do 2 days. Hence why I tried to call this the May 1st. It is only 12:40, so excuse me. But the May 2nd edition for your weekend this day in music.
All right. Since I'm going to do May 1st, we're going to roll right in on this. And some good stuff happened on this day back in May 1st, of course. In 1967, Elvis Presley and Priscilla were married. They were only married till 1973. 1969, Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash taped a TV special at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. Here's a pretty cool one. 1969, Jimi Hendrix was arrested at Toronto International Airport for possession of narcotics and was released on $10,000 bail, which back in 69 is probably
that's a chunk of change.
$100,000.
Yeah.
This is huge news here. In 1970, is that the right one? I looked at the wrong. My bad. Let's see. We'll go to 72. The Eagles' "Take It Easy" was released, and it was their first single.
Hey,
so that's a
big one.
Let's see here.
I don't know what is the stigma, guys. Somebody chime in and tell me while you're out there. Not to interrupt. What's the stigma with some of the hate on the Eagles?
There's a lot of it lately.
What is it? I don't know. I guess I'm a little too young. I'm just trying to figure it out. I just want to know, like, what is it? Was it just something from what the Big Lebowski said, what the dude said. Right. You know what I'm saying? In the Big Lebowski, is it something he said from way back then? Like, what's the stigma with the Eagles? Somebody enlighten me, please. Enlighten my ignorance. Anyway, carry on, Jim.
People mad at the Eagles are stupid. All right, 1979, excuse me. Elton John became the first pop music star to perform in Israel. That's pretty.
Wow.
That's pretty big.
Like God's country over there, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that's probably pretty big. 1982. This one shout out to Tommy because he knows this. Kiss released the album Killers. And
Kiss is kind of all over this one today.
And then here you go, 1989. Police in California were called to a jewelry store after employees reported a suspicious person. That person turned out to be Michael Jackson shopping in disguise.
Michael Jackson in disguise is going to get the cops called every time.
This crazy white woman, she keeps looking at all this jewelry really weird.
I almost laughed like a little girl. I had to hold that in so as not to subject you guys to that torture.
This was post nose job. So
is that all you got, Jim?
That's all I have. Oh, wait. I'm going to throw this one out here. In 1998, Garth Brooks announced that the 4 millionth ticket had been purchased for his current world tour. So,
wow.
And then, yeah, that's all. Nothing else is.
All right, guys, we're going to roll right in. Since we're only 43 minutes into it, we are going to roll right into This Day in Music for May 2nd. But before we get to that, we're going to do a shout-out belated birthday, April 29th, 1933, Mr. Willie Nelson. Happy birthday. Guys, 88 years young, still kicking it. You know, just
all the health problems.
All the health problems, everything he's done, been through and dealt with. Shout out to Willie. Cliffhanger, guys. Cliffhanger.
It's going to be Willie Nelson, Keith Richards, and Ozzy Osbourne.
You know,
only ones
little
left.
Backstory on Willie. That's how my current band, the Natural State Band, kind of found each other. It was the Willie Show here in town. Mountain Home had Willie Nelson here play here. I don't know, it was 10 years ago now.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
10 years ago, this summer, pretty much. And our drummer Ike was here in town, and we were playing a 3-piece drummerless show, acoustic thing at the Back 40. And who's in the crowd? Oh, good brother, good beer swilling Ike, you know. He's all, hey man, I had a wah-wah pedal. He's all, hey man, keep playing with that wah-wah pedal. Just, you know, throwing things back and forth. And he says, hey, I play drums, yada, yada, yada. We're just like, whatever. Lo and behold, dude can play drums. He can wail. So anyway, Willie Nelson Show, that's kind of how we met, band met. Happy birthday, belated birthday to Willie. 88 years young, still rocking. But guys, moving along to the May 2nd, This Day in Music. Happy birthday to Link Ray.
Happy
like
birthday.
early, like kind of credited with inventing fuzz guitar for like, not the Kinks guys. It wasn't the guys in the Kinks. It was literally Link Ray punching a hole in a speaker, giving him distortion. Also, Ray popularized the power chord. If you guys listen to it, go back and listen to Rumble. If you're a guitar player, go listen to Link Ray's Rumble. You'll know it when you hear it. Classic guitar song, just like Green Onions, you know, just that classic old rock and roll. It's awesome. Check out Link Ray. Happy birthday, Link Ray. Moving right along. Happy birthday, Lou Graham. And that's about it for our birthdays. May 2nd, This Day in Music. 1964, the Rolling Stones' self-titled debut album started a 12-week run, number one on the UK charts. It's been a total of 51 weeks on the UK charts.
And they're still rolling.
Also on this day, Stones made their first appearance on the US singles charts when Not Fade Away entered the charts at number 98. 1969, The Who gave a press review of their rock opera Tommy in London. Big album from The Who. 1969, the Beatles recorded a remake of the George Harrison song Something at Abbey Roads in London. They recorded 36 takes of the song.
I wonder which take they...
I wonder what take they used.
Take number 1.
1969, Led Zeppelin plays the first 2 nights at the Pasadena Rose Palace in California. Many other acts appeared here, including the Byrds, Cream, Santana, Grateful Dead, Joe Cocker. Would have been a hell of a night if all those guys were playing.
Yeah.
That's some, guitar porn. Oof.
If you can make it through Santana, then you're like, but wait, there's more. There's more.
Wait, there's more. Moving along. Let's see here. 1991, the REM song Losing My Religion was banned in Ireland because of its religious imagery was seen as unfit for broadcast. Because they're scared of an REM song.
Figures.
Michael Stipe will get you, boy.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get you every time.
It's
1991, Nirvana booked into Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, California for 16 days. On a budget of $65,000, with Butch Vig producing, the band started recording what would become Nevermind.
With newly found drummer Dave Grohl.
Here's one. We're going to take it back to 2004. Total Guitar Magazine's readers voted Guns N' Roses' anthem, Sweet Child of Mine, as the greatest guitar riff ever, ahead of Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Led Zeppelin, Whole Lotta Love, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water.
I have so much I want to say about that, but
and it says dude from Total Guitar says, to a new generation of guitarists, Guns N' Roses are more thrilling than Sex Pistols. In a way, that phrase is right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
That's such a deep dive.
You
know what I mean?
That's an angry deep dive.
I'm not gonna get angry because
but
everybody's got their opinions.
But that's one thing that will invoke anger from somebody. Because
that's right. Because you have to have a level head about these things.
I love Guns N' Roses, but I'm not going to put that as the number 1 riff of all time. Sorry.
What's it say? Yeah, greatest guitar riff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. It's fantastic. Okay. I love it. But
anyway, moving along. 2005, Eric Clapton joins former Cream members Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce for the first 4 nights at London's Royal Albert Hall, 36 years after they split up.
Wow.
Tickets are changing hands. I think it says more than 500 pounds. So, I mean, if you convert that, it's like almost $600.
Something like that.
$600 on eBay. Guys are, everybody's flying in from everywhere to see that. All right. I think everybody remembers this one. This one's an infamous. And this one go back to Keith. 2006. Keith Richards, Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards, was released from hospital in New Zealand after the 62-year-old suffered a mild concussion when he fell out of what? A coconut tree. I think we all remember that.
And then
that was hilarious when I remember hearing about that.
Then he went over there and he go.
I think this has been broken. Obviously, I think so, because I think it was like the White Stripes or whatever. 2007, almost 2,000 musicians gathered in the Polish city of Wrocław to play a rock anthem by Jimi Hendrix. The guitarists were aiming to set a new Guinness World Record by gathering 1,876 guitarists in the city's market square to play Hey Joe. Pretty cool. Pretty cool for the time. I think some stuff like that's been beaten.
Smoke on the Water, I think they did that one too.
Here's one, kind of turning up the gain on this one, but sadly, but rest in peace. Rest in peace, Slayer's Jeff Hanneman.
That was, wow.
Died at the age of 49.
2011?
2013.
Oh, that was 2000. Wow. Oh, yeah, the Big Four is 2011.
Yep.
Wow. I remember watching the Gear Gods when I found out about that.
Yep. Just crazy. But to end on the sad note, I know. Rest in peace, Jeff Hanneman. But guys, that is your May 1st and May 2nd, This Day in Music, for your Guitar Pirates podcast. Guys, rolling right along. Heavily Steeped in the news. Not much. I mean, there's a lot of tour stuff being announced. There's a lot of bands announcing stuff, but I don't really have too much of that this go around. Guys, if that's something you're into and that's what you like hearing about, let us know. Hit us up. If you have a question, either hit us up and just create a post on our Facebook or slide in the old messages and say, hey, what's up, man? Let's change up the pod.
The old DMs,
the old DM skis. But anyway, guys, this is a big one, I think, kind of just coming straight out of the chute. Probably will be a future watch along here. I don't know if you guys are into that too. Let us know. Watch alongs. Reverb has dropped the Pedal movie.
Yeah.
Feature length film exploring the history of effects pedals. You can get it on Voodoo. You can get it on iTunes Store, Google Play. I think it had it for rent for $3.99 to buy for $9.99.
And if you out there thinking that it's a movie with like Mark Wahlberg playing, no, it's a documentary.
No, it's like a documentary. It's a nerd. It's very nerdy. It's gonna be super.
The Pedal
nerdy.
movie starring Mark Wahlberg.
And it takes a deep dive into the untold history of the pedal industry's rise. Excuse me. People are saying that it, lives up to the hype.
I'm excited. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see this. I kind of want to, probably be something I dive into this weekend once everybody kind of, goes to bed and kind of goes away. I can sit around and just watch it and nerd out for a while.
I may do that tonight. I don't know.
Trailer was pretty good. They made
Yes,
a really good trailer. I know that got me hooked. I was like, man, I couldn't believe it. I know that Stompbox book, another book has come out. 2 books about pedals have come out here recently. I can't remember exactly what they're called. I'll get more for Dirty Laundry for next week, but
I wonder
find that out. But yeah, anyway, Reverb announced it. The Pedal movie has dropped. Guys, get it on Voodoo, Apple Movie, Google Play. $3.99 to rent, $9.99 to buy. Should be a pretty sweet movie.
Take that, Lego movie.
Take that Lego movie. Okay, rolling along. We could have deep dived into that for forever, I bet. Another Kiss announcement. Kiss announced a 2-night A&E biography, Kisstory documentary. Biography Kisstory will document Kiss's nearly 50-year career over 2 nights on A&E this summer.
They've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. The 4-hour documentary will air over 2 nights on June 27th and 28th on the cable network. So A&E set you DVRs June 27th, 28th. Biography Kisstory, covering 50 years of these guys.
If it's Tommy, it's old news. He already knew about it.
Yeah. If it's Tommy's probably like, guys, guys. Come on, man.
You finally figured this stuff out?
You guys finally got ahead of the curve. Jesus. But no, it's going to include interviews with Tommy. Is it Thayer?
Thayer.
Excuse my ignorance. Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer.
Which Eric Singer, rest in peace.
They have Dave Grohl, Tom Morello involved. Probably just talking about influences and stuff.
Well, see, I'd like to go about after the live album. I'd like to kind of curious about the Fall Apart. A little bit more.
Yeah.
Of Ace Frehley and
even Paul's
Chris.
already, posting. Documentary is very terrific. I've seen it and it's awesome. So I think this is obviously going to be different from the Netflix deal. This one's going to be more like
straight up
documentary.
Like real.
Let's nerd out on some Kiss, guys.
Like real.
I think this will be. A&E's been doing that stuff even with like wrestling. They've been coming out with like a new Stone Cold documentary and like WWE artifacts and stuff. I saw one with like Undertaker's urn or something like that. It was crazy. Urn was like $10,000 or something. I can't exactly remember. But anyway, guys, Kiss biography, Kiss documentary, biography Kisstory. 50 Years of Kiss, June 27th, 28th on A&E. Gets closer, guys. Set your DVRs. Give it a watch. We'll probably talk about that as it gets closer. Moving on down the line, I've got something kind of funny here. So, Black Sabbath, 1978. Feared being upstaged by a young, whipper-spry, fleet-fingered Edward Van Halen. Imagine having to be those guys and go up to Eddie and go, you got to behave yourself a little bit, man.
Right.
You know, you're going to pump the brakes, Turbo. Imagine having to do that. I mean, I'm sure they're some, set in their ways Englishmen, so it's pretty easy for them. They probably can be pretty stern. But you're going to put the reins on Eddie just because he's going to show you up.
How can you how you can't show up the Godfather?
I think back then though the technique was everything he was doing was just so fresh,
and plus he hid everything he did.
It was just so fresh and so new, and it was just like people were just gonna see it and just be like, "Oh my gosh, this is way better than what Black Sabbath is." Just because Black Sabbath was just about the song, not about the technique. It seemed Eddie Van Halen was flash and dash.
Oh, well, of course. And then you had Diamond Dave out there. Shout out to Diamond Dave.
Shout out to Diamond Dave. But anyway,
But
let's go up to Eddie and tell him to just calm it down.
Which I wonder if that was from Geezer, if that was I couldn't see Tony. I wonder, does it say who said that, or is it just the band collectively?
Okay, here's a quote. They were all really good blokes, Butler adds, so we weren't really that bothered by it. But Tony had to have a few words with Eddie in a behave yourself kind of way.
Oh, Tony.
So there you go. That's all I'm going to go into about that.
The metal master himself is telling Eddie, you might want to tone it down there, Jess.
You might want to tone it down there, bro. Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Intimidated. Man. I figured it'd be the other way around, but they were out to rule the world, so
oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
For sure. All right, guys, moving along. Some gear news here. Mr. Joe Walsh.
The shock to hell. Oh, I was almost going to swear.
Almost. Slip of the tongue.
It shocked me.
Anyway, releasing a signature PRS.
Which really, if you can't tell, it shocked me because he's been with Charvel for a long time.
If you haven't seen the PRS video that they posted on YouTube, oh my word, it sounds so good. Like, you can tell that they have done their due diligence.
Which we all know PRS is always done. They're a great company. Just not my flavor.
No, I mean, they have some great stuff. The colors are great. The woods are great. Some of the sounds are great on their really expensive stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not spending $20,000 on some of those PRS models.
It's hard to justify some of them. But yeah, only 200 pieces of his limited edition McCarty 594 single cut. Basically patterned after vintage guitars, vintage Les Pauls, pretty much. Looks like a bursty kind of deal. Binding, Gibson style tuners.
Is it going to price?
I don't see anything about a price.
Since it's PRS, there's only 22 made. We're going to go ahead and start at 5.
200 made.
200 made? Okay.
Yeah, 200 made.
We're going to go with 5.
I guess it's probably going to start around 5 or 6. I don't know.
Easy.
I do not know.
Wow, that's
a cool jump, though. Cool pickup for PRS.
Oh, yeah, it's a great pickup for PRS. I was going to get the Joe Walsh Charvel, and now I'm like,
yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah, it makes you wonder. But anyway, rolling.
What's the release date?
I have not seen any.
Or are they just, it's just the
I
falling
think
out,
it's just kind of
getting the airwaves
starting
out.
and just kind of running its deal, running its course.
See if there's any buzz.
Yeah.
Which, of course, there would be. It's Joe Walsh.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Rolling right along to some more gear news. Epiphone announces return to the faved USA-built Frontier acoustic after 51 years. $3,900. A USA collection model made at the same Kalamazoo factory where the first Frontiers were originally built between 58 and 70.
They're just
hammering it out. New run of the USA-made Frontier FT110. Handcrafted by the Gibson luthiers. Sitka spruce top, solid figure maple back and sides, round seam mahogany neck, 25.5-inch scale, Indian rosewood fingerboard, 20 frets, mother of pearl slotted rectangle inlays, belly up rosewood bridge, Goto Keystone tuning machines. I mean, it's a legit guitar. Pretty cool that they're bringing it back, but I mean, pretty expensive. Pretty expensive for this guy.
yeah, I wonder if they're going to roll.
I still think it's cool. I mean, it's worth announcing, but I mean, cool guitar.
I wonder if they're going to roll through Epiphone, like a cheaper version. Probably not, though.
It'd be cool if they did. They need to. They need to do something.
Get us down to that $900. That's about my tag. 1,100 is about as high as I want to go, unless it's vintage or a collector's item.
Yeah, for sure.
I say that now, but if I can get a USA custom shop, it's done.
For sure. For sure. Moving along. Kind of a heartwarming guitar story if you're into this kind of thing. Into this, the saving of things. Jared James Nichols reveals plans to restore Dorothy, a Les Paul found in the wake of a tornado. Les Paul was gifted to Nichols by a fan. Partially destroyed 52 Gibson Les Paul Gold Top. Discovered in 2013 in a Washington, Illinois tornado. Basically just an old Les Paul that he's going to try to give some new life.
It's priceless.
Nichols' Instagram has it. You can see it's a original diagonal bridge, like a trapeze tailpiece bridge on it. P90s. The neck is completely snapped off at the body. It's like supposedly one of the first ever Gibson models from 1952. So I thought that was kind of cool. Saving an old piece of history is Jared James Nichols.
That's
I mean, P90s in gold. I mean, that's his thing.
That's a sad thing, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a sad but cool thing. So shout out to Jared James Nichols. For another shout out to Jared James Nichols. Yeah. We love him around here.
I wonder if he's gonna roll through the that Gibson shop.
Since that could be a deal. That Gibson shop. That's true. Probably they've. I bet they've contacted him now. It's been a little buzzworthy.
Talk about putting him on the spot.
Yeah, talk about putting it on the spot, man.
So we heard you open this thing back up. Here's a good one for you.
Yeah, here's a Frankenstein for you. But anyway, rolling right on down the line with the last piece of gear news. Marcus King coming out with a sweet 1962 ES345 with sideways vibrola. New custom shop artist model.
Sideways vibrola.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you see on the Billy Gibbons stuff.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, it just moves the wang bar moves sideways instead of up and down. Pretty sweet. Split parallelogram inlays. Like I said, the sideways vibrola has the Marcus King badge on it. Sweet cherry red. It is an ES345.
Looks like it's got a lot of knobs there from...
Yeah, it looks like it has the chicken head knob, 4 knobs, pickup selector, gold hardware. Limited edition. Pretty sweet.
Love that red.
CTS pots, Black Cat capacitors, ABR tune-o-matic, Cherry VOS, Custom Shop ES case, and a Marcus King belt buckle. Ooh.
Like, I need a belt buckle.
I need a belt buckle.
Does it have a release price yet?
On the site.
On the site.
Gibson site.
So we're going to guess
$6,999.
Wow.
It's a custom shop artist model. It's a custom shop. I mean, it's going to be handmade, hand done, hand
Is that
wound.
out of the Nashville or Memphis plant?
I'm not sure. I think they've moved the Memphis plant. I'm not sure. Probably out of Nashville. But yeah, there's $7,000. But hey, I mean, it's handmade. It's 2020, guys. Stuff's expensive these days.
Yeah, and if you can get it now, it's only going to appreciate in
It's
value.
only going to appreciate in value. So
If you can make good payment plans on something,
yeah, that, or if you can just get it, whatever you got to do. But regardless, that is my roundup of the news for your May 2nd Guitar Pirates podcast.
and I had all my news set up, and then my phone decided to go yonky on me, so I lost what I was going to talk about. So I just have a couple tour news. We kind of talked about changing up a little bit, and if you're a country music fan of anybody, like we both are, of course, I'm just going to throw a couple tour dates out for you that I thought was pretty cool. If you're a Chris Stapleton fan, which I'm a big Chris Stapleton fan, he's going to be 7/8/21, which would be July. I had to think for a second.
Had to think just for a minute. Make
My
sure
br-
what we're doing.
He's going to be at Summerfest at American Family Insurance Amphitheater. That is in Milwaukee, with special guest Sheryl Crow, if you're a Sheryl Crow fan. This one I thought was pretty cool. July 17th at Wrigley Field.
Wow. Wrigley Field.
At Wrigley Field. That's my cubbies. Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. Let me see if he's going to be anywhere close to us. Man, it's going to be in Charlotte. Arlington, Texas.
So it sounds like some people are getting out there. Guys, if you're looking for a fun show, get on StubHub or wherever you get your tickets. Find something fun and go do it.
Well,
wash your hands, wear a mask. If you got to get vaccinated, go do it. Whatever you need to do to feel good and feel right. Let's get out here and just, enjoy the world again.
I just read, I'm glad this is what one of the things I was going to talk about. I think the show for, it was Chevelle and another band. They have a show up in Illinois somewhere that has pods, like concert pods.
Yeah, they've been doing that at certain shows. Certain AEW does it. I think WWE did it for their WrestleMania. There's just certain pods that people sit in.
So basically like a little campsite for yourself for the concert.
It's basically just like 4, 5, 6 chairs in a little group, and you're away from everybody, which is cool.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. We got to take baby steps to get to where we want to be.
Right. Here we go. September 16th, they're going to be at Maryland Heights, Missouri. That's up there in St. Louis. It's at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, which I have been to, and it's a very, very nice state. Very, very nice
I've
thing.
been up to the Fox Theater in St. Louis, and it's freaking sweet.
Old school.
Beautiful theater.
But yeah, he's spreading across there. It's just one thing. I'm just trying to jump out of my realm of the status quo of metal. So he will be at the Mizzou Arena in Columbia, Missouri, which and then he'll be in Nashville. He's got two shows in Nashville. But that's enough for him. Then the other one, I was going to be more guitar oriented with is Mr. Brad Paisley, and he's got some tour dates. He's going to be at Jacksonville, Tampa, Florida. He's basically going to be rolling through Florida And 2 of his shows have been postponed. But being that it's new, let's see here. I don't think that he has anything. He likes to go through Little Rock a lot, but
I know that Walmart Amphitheater is kind of opening up some of their stuff too.
Yeah,
bringing some people through there.
They've
Little Rock. Shout out to Little Rock.
Oh, that Walmart Amphitheater's in Rogers.
Oh, Rogers.
Yeah.
Gosh dang.
Well, it's new. It's new.
It's ignorance, guys. Excuse me.
But so Brad Paisley's finally got some tour dates out, and I thought whenever I was clicking on his name, there was more, and it just kind of abruptly ended on August 12th. So I'm sure he's got stuff in the works for the. It really played me for this news just played me for the Brad Paisley stuff. I thought there was going to be more.
You know what? I think I might have to unveil this one. Jimmy's news, guys. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's what Jimmy's news is for the May 2nd Guitar Pirates podcast, and rolling right in to our getting a little itchy, getting a little gassy.
It's starting to sting.
Is your pocket's starting to jump a little bit? Starting to get a little shaky.
Something out of the norm.
Is your money flying out of your bank account faster than you can look at it because all this gear you're looking at? Guys, it's your May 2nd Guitar Pirates podcast, Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Guys, I am going to run right into it. Looking on Reverb, found a Line 6 HX Stomp Multi-Effects amp modeler. It's the pedal version. They're like $600, darn near brand new. $450, $40 shipping. Has all the cables, all the cords, books, box, all that good stuff. Says make an offer. So I mean, hey, it's even looks like it's even got some sort of skin on a deal too to protect it. $450. Shout out to Aeroleaf Gear Locker. Kind of close, Memphis, Tennessee.
I think those are what, 600 new?
Yeah, it's like $600
or
new.
$699 new, something
like that. $450 for that's not bad.
Does that one have the No, that one doesn't have the
No, it's the pedal version.
It's the pedal.
It's
it's that new. Okay, yeah.
It's the small one. You know, I'd love to make a board with this thing,
which has all your features just minus. Okay, yeah, literally just looked at that.
I would love to put that on a board with like some drive pedals and call it a wash. But anyway, $450. Reverb.com, Aeroleaf Gear Locker, Memphis, Tennessee. Look for your Line 6 HX Stomp Multi-Effects and amp modeler. $450, guys. Make them an offer. I bet you could get it for $450 and no shipping. Rolling the dice. Anyway, moving along. I don't know if I think we might have mentioned this. I'm not sure. We're going to bring it up again. Squier coming out with a limited run 60s Custom Esquire 3-color sunburst Sweetwater exclusive, $479. I don't know if anybody out there is listening, if they're friends with Andertons. I'm friends with Captain Anderton on Facebook, and he brought out that he has them over there in Andertons, and they have some exclusive colors, I think like green and blue. Here in the States, it's only looking like we're getting black and sunburst. They have like a green and a blue and the sunburst and some other colors.
Cheeky bastards.
If you're not familiar with an Esquire, it's basically just a one pickup Telecaster. And I'll say this, a little sneak peek here. If you are like me and you're obsessed with these guitars, there is no routing for the neck pickup under the pickguard. It is a true Esquire.
Ooh.
Made to be an Esquire. He took the pickguard off of it in the picture Captain Anderton did and put it on Facebook. And I was like, no way. And I could, sure as you know what.
So it's
it's literally just, it's supposed to be an Esquire. You know, you think they just throw the non-cutout pickguard over a cutout telly body and no one would tell the difference. You take the pickguard off and it's, you know,
I wonder how much more
sustain. A double Esquire.
I wonder how much more sustain that'll add. Being it's the Squire, so that the pickups,
I'm not sure. Obviously, it's not in stock. It's new.
Is that going to run the SKR, their SQR
No,
pickup?
I don't know what I don't know what kind of pickup probably vintage style pickups.
Which I kind of think those new ones are vintage-ish.
I think those new ones are more like a Seymour Duncan thing. But anyway, this would be probably just like a classic vibe Telecaster pickup, is what I imagine. Doesn't have brass saddles either. They're like steel saddles. 3-barrel saddles though. But anyway, Squire Classic Vibe 60s Custom Esquire 3-color sunburst, a Sweetwater exclusive for $479. Hit up my man Clint at Sweetwater. Get you a good deal on this sucker. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna hit up Clint and see if I can't get one that's under 8 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, something that's nice.
And as if we talked about before, we wholeheartedly endorse Squire.
Wholeheartedly. And this one's kind of, I've been kind of quick on my gear because I wanted to fit one extra one in here. One extra one, and it's a Sweetwater, and I don't think it's out yet. I think they've had versions of this out. Dan Electro Baritone, Black Metal Flake, single cut, 29.75-inch scale length. Tune B to B. It's just one of those deals. It's just a sweet looking baritone guitar, Black Metal Flake. Like I said, has the 6-in-line tuners on the headstock. No rosewood bridge here, guys. It has actual independent adjustable saddles so you can adjust the intonation on it. It's one of the lightweight Dano bodies made out of the masonite and the poplar. It's a sweet, sweet metal flaked, big old baritone guitar.
And I sit here and I complain about a 24 fret guitar, 25.5-inch scale, which is your standard Tele scale.
5 more inches on that bad boy, pretty much. 4 and whatever.
It's like playing a bass.
You want to get technical with it, but anyway, that's just I'm a little gassy for that one, so I'm tossing it up. If you're listening, guys, let's make a little decision for me: baritone or Esquire. What would you guys do? Anyway, moving on. That is my first round, I guess, because we usually do a main event here. First round of our Gear Acquisition Syndrome segment for your May 2nd Guitar Pirates podcast.
All right. And since we're going with this theme, especially for me, being that I'm the metaler here, I've been really itchy about this guitar for a long time, and it's the Epiphone Wildcat electric guitar with Bigsby tremolo. It is I've always wanted to get some Grumpels guitars so I can do some metal with it, and I'm in love with this guitar. It's kind of if you wanted to play country jazz, your swing stir stuff, it'd be right down the alley, but
I think if you want to do anything with it, you can just do whatever you feel like it. I mean, let me just put my caveat out here before you run down your stuff. An Epiphone Wildcats, I've owned one, and they are sweet, 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 sweet Epiphone guitars. I would say the only thing that you would need to do when you get that thing is get a roller bridge for it and tighten up the Bigsby. That's pretty much it. I would suggest a roller bridge right off the bat if you ever get one, just because they have those regular Tune-o-matic saddles on them. You use that Bigsby, and it's just not good. But you put the roller bridge in it, and that thing's going to float like a cloud. Anyway, Epiphone Wildcat, man. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah. Because I've been on this quest to get a semi-hollow with an F-hole so I can just... People hear me be like, man, that's a really cool metal song. And I'm like, yeah, you'll never believe what I played it on.
If you can control those things, the feedback is wonderful.
Oh, man. Just think of, like a Uncle Tom, I just went completely blank.
You better get it. Don't
Cat
make me
scratch fever.
Oh, I was going to say, don't make me press that button again. I was kidding. My finger was about to jump.
Just think of Stranglehold. That
playing that stuff on those Birdlands.
But it's just that F hole, that feedback on those guitars. On
Colt
any
Billy
FL.
Duffy stuff. It was just so rocking. It's just so
It just
very ballsy.
What would see? It's a flame maple top. It's going to be mahogany back. It's got the Pau Ferrero frets, which
Palfaro fingerboard.
fretboard, yeah. Which most of your newer guitars,
Most news
have that.
guitars are going to have the Palfaro stuff.
Ebony's, rosewood, and some of those are. Which one was it? Rosewood.
It was rosewood
Yeah,
that was on
rosewood.
that big sides a while back.
Yep. And it's going to have the Elenco P90T and P90R dog ear pickups.
P90s, man, they're making I think people are kind of just like tired of one thing or another, and it's like, what's left? Oh, I haven't done a P90, and everybody's like, oh my God, these things are great.
P90s are awesome.
They are.
They sound really, especially if you got it through a vintage style amp.
Oh yeah, P90s through any kind of sweet sounding amp.
Really, I've played P90s. I had a little Epiphone specials, like $90, brand new. It had P90s in there, and through distortion, it's just got really good grit.
It's like a more solid single coil, pretty much.
But yeah, this one's $499. It comes in this one is the Antique Natural, which I think
that's brand new.
It's brand new. It's on back order, which they're always on back order because everybody loves these things. But that is my first one. I've been really gassy about this. And then we're going to go right in. And if you're looking for a good amp and you're not sure, if you play rock, if you play blues, if you play country, the Fender Champion 412 40-watt combo amp would be great. It's $219.
A 412 combo amp?
Or 40. It's the Fender Champion 40. It's a 112.
Okay, I was like 412 combo amp. Whoa.
For $219. Yeah, I'm buying that right now.
Like, rock your face off.
This thing's pretty sweet. It's going to be your modeler amp, of course, but Fender's is a little different because we both have these bosses, and they're just unreal, and they're based on their.
They're very nice, and I mean, that Fender stuff's going to be. I don't know if it has DSP in that amp or what, but it's going to be based off something big and Fendery and clean.
Especially the clean tones.
The clean tones are going to be great. The reverb's probably going to sound good, even though it's digital in that thing. It'll probably have some sort of effects in it too. I'm not sure about that amp. I haven't necessarily looked at it. I guess I haven't looked at anything in that class because of the bosses.
Yeah, I've been looking
Bosses
at
kind of take my eyeballs the other way.
Well, I've been telling Josh for months that I wanted the Fender Champion 100. Fender Champion 100 is a 212, but I mean for a 40 watt, it's going to be plenty loud.
Yeah, for what you end up doing.
For what you end up using it for.
For sure.
But it's a 40 watt solid state amp. It's got a 112 Fender special design speaker. It's 2 channels, black face clean, and selectable amp voicings. It's got the 1 1/4 instrument input, 1 1/8 stereo aux input for use with media player, 1 1/8 stereo headphone jack. The effects, it's going to have reverb, delay, echo, chorus, tremolo, vibraphone, and more. It's got the delay time and tremolo speed can be set. It's got the tap button, and then it comes with the foot switch input. I don't know if I'm trying to see if it does come with the foot pedal.
I imagine it would.
It's only 19 pounds.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Those Tone Masters are like that too. Those Fender Tone Masters where they emulate like a Fender Twin and a deluxe reverb and stuff. They're supposed to be really light and sound damn near just like them, if not even better in some instances, which scares me.
Right.
A twin reverb that's, light enough to carry on your head.
Which is scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
My PV Bandit weighs 65 pounds, and it's only a 112, so... it's... You don't know how unstrong you are until you pick up a 60-pound amp. And
yeah,
you're
until
like,
you pick up a heavy amp and you're just crying about it.
And it's got 202 reviews on Sweetwater right now, and it's running 4 1/4 stars average, so that's not bad.
No. People are definitely into it.
Most of them are 5 stars. I'm sure the ones, you can't please everybody, so there's somebody's always going to find something. It's not loud enough,
It's not tubed. It's not this. Doesn't have spring reverb or speaker sucks or whatever.
You can change out a speaker. But the tones are voiced for that speaker, so it'd be like changing out the Boss Katana with, unless you want Raza Craft, which would be a great
kind
pairing.
of like right parallel, kind of a parallel thing.
I'm just kind of curious, if you put like a vintage 30 in this thing, or if you can find an old vintage,
it'd be interesting.
Tweed.
That'd be interesting.
But for $219, it's plenty loud. It's going to have your Fender clean. So if you want to run pedals through it just with the clean tones, you'd be perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it's going to have the reverb. I wonder if that is a digital delay or digital reverb or if it's spring reverb.
It's probably going to all be digital. It's only $219.
Yeah, it just does. Yeah, it just says reverb. I'm kind of curious about that vibratone, which would be really cool.
That would be an interesting setting to give it a try.
So I'm really itchy on this one because I've been talking about getting one, and I probably will end up getting one. It'll probably be they also have the XL version, which is
the bigger one.
It's a 40 watt, but it's black, so I think it has the same stuff. It's not like the Mustang. The Mustang's more digital. It's like it's got the digital face on, and this one's just knobs.
I think they got some sort of app or something too.
Yeah, but I'm not into that. I just want knobs, simple knobs I can switch through. But you can go
simple amp, but with a little bit of spice.
But this one, like the Boss Katana's gonna be your mid-driven amp. This one's gonna be more of your classic Fender tones. It's gonna have metal. You can go from metal all the way to country. Of course, blues. It's a Fender amp. So
of course you can do it with the Katana too. I just think it's just going to be more voiced than the Fender voice.
Yeah,
we all know what that is. But anyway, what else do we got going on over there?
I've got this Dunlop Jimi Hendrix Fuzz Face Mini. It's turquoise mint. If you know anything about the Jimi Hendrix Fuzz Face, it's just fantastic. The Fuzz Face Mini pedal, the features legendary, the Fuzz Face tones, and similar, more pedal board friendly, because it's smaller, and it's going to have your status LED, your AC power jack, and your convenient battery door. So it's going to be easy to change the battery instead of having to deal with, going through and having to take the whole pedal apart just to get to the battery. It's $110. It's free shipping. There is no make offer on this one, so you actually probably have to pay full price for it. But I think they go $149 brand new. But if you're looking for a good little fuzz pedal, and you need to save some room on your board, the Dunlop Jimi Hendrix Fuzz Face Mini Turquoise Mint. We'll give a shout out. This is with Chicago Music Exchange. Of course, that's in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah. Wow. I may have to double check this listing. This was listed 4 years ago. It has 5,786 views, 121 watchers, 42 offers, and
is it still in stock?
That was the first thing I pulled up whenever I put in the Jimi Hendrix Jimi Hendrix Fuzz.
Is it brand new?
No, it's used.
It's used. It's been there for 4 years.
It's been there for 4 years, so I'm sure people have been lowballing. That's why it just says message seller.
Just says message seller.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, but brand new, they're $149, so I was right on that one. The only other one I was going to talk about, because I've seen this one the other day. I was going to ask you if you've seen is that 69 Psych Band of Gypsies mini fuzz pedal. Have you
Yes,
seen anything on that?
Currently, I don't have that one, but I have the mini silicone fuzz, the blue one, and it's not just like one, but it's a pretty sweet little fuzz circuit.
Like, I looked at the, of course I did the classic Jimmy fuzz, and I love how that one sounds. I've not gone into a deep dive on this one, so that may be something I'm going to check in later.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on the mini fuzz faces. They are legit. You just have to find your right flavor of them. Joe Bonamassa has one, I think. So that's pretty cool.
A lot of metal guys have played with fuzzes.
Yeah.
A lot of...
You can tighten up a fuzz with the boost pedal or any kind of light drive, tube screamer kind of thing.
Especially if you get into a jam to where you're itchy to make a new song. You just turn on a fuzz face and that dirty, gritty stuff and just start going to town. Because
more often than not, you can probably find something if that's, if you're ready to kind of dig in and rock out.
And then you put a fuzz face with a wah pedal. Ugh.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mr. Hendrix.
But that's all I got.
That's all we have for the opening round of the Guitar Pirates podcast, May 2nd, Gear Acquisition Syndrome segment. Moving right into the main event. Guys, I'm going to tone the gain down here. We're going to kick it back to 1923. Looking on mandolincafe.com. Guys, we have a 1923 Gibson A2 crack-free paddlehead truss rod with original hardshell case. I mean, this thing's got a truss rod in it, and it's a damn 1923 mandolin. Looks like it's been refretted, asking $1,900, and that includes shipping to you in the continental United States.
It's not bad. I've seen some for more that are
just refretted, narrow EVO wire, if you know what that is, if you're into your mandolins and frets. Lord era Gibson, Snakehead era sound. Enjoys a Cumberland Acoustics bridge, so it's probably it's got to have a new bridge on it. I mean, the damn thing's 100 years old. It's gonna have to have something on it, right? You gotta maintenance that puppy. It's gonna be like Trigger, man. I mean, obviously it just got refretted.
That would be
it's crack free.
That would be something that I would have to buy a bank vault, and I would just put that in a.
I'd have to have one of those like display things with like lasers on it or something.
Go full on Tenacious D.
Like, but I mean, I can tell you this for $1,900. I mean, it's pretty sweet. If you're a mandolin player, check this out, Mandolin Cafe. It's definitely not my first cup of tea, but when I seen it, I was just like, man, this is such a sweet piece of history. A 23 Gibson A2 mandolin. So it's doesn't have the F style with the big curly Q on it and everything. It just looks like an old teardrop. Really nice piece of history, though. Really nice Gibson mandolin with some modern appointments to make it playable today. And to have that vintage sound, oh man.
I'm kind of curious with something like that, being that old. Because the oldest guitar I ever played was a 1960 Silvertone, and the tone was just completely, I know it's not, mandolin, but just the tone from that era is something different.
Oh yeah, anything
something
is
special.
The wood's older too. The wood's got so many more years than from when it was just cut and produced and put together.
And I wouldn't think that the wood was more porous or anything.
It's just better wood back then. Better older wood. But anyway,
thing's gorgeous.
Yeah,
1923.
1923 Gibson A2 mandolin. It's not a reverb find. I know. But mandolincafe.com is where you can find this thing. Shout out to those guys. Hopefully somebody sees this and they know a mandolin player. Hit them up. Ad owner John Leisman, Montgomery, Texas. And that is my main event for the Gear Acquisition Syndrome segment of your Guitar Pirates podcast.
And this one is going to be more expensive than the one that I talked about, but it was the only one I have found. It's the Epiphone Wildcat 2018, but it's the Koa Natural.
Koa Natural.
Gorgeous. So it's going to be basically the same specs from the Wildcat. The thing I like about the Wildcats, though, just like your Gretsch, it's going to have your master volume.
Yeah, that master volume works really good in those kind of guitars. Volume. Controls that feedback. Definitely helps kind of rein it in.
And I just kind of, if you find like a pretty cool tone between your bridge and your neck pickup, but it's still too gritty, just dial off that master.
You can definitely dial it in.
But
dial it in setting for sure.
Guy said he had it for 9 months. 9 months, plays well and is excellent condition. The jack is loose apparently, that's really simple.
Par for the course these days.
He says it's with issue with most Epiphones. I've had no problem with any Epiphones that I've got with input jacks.
I think I've had an input jack problem damn near every time on any guitar I've ever owned, but that's just me. Probably because I walk around in circles with them plugged in.
But yeah, it comes with a hard case. This guy's going through a sob story. It took him 3 months to receive due to the pandemic.
He's just trying to guilt you into getting that puppy. But a Koa topped Epiphone Wildcat.
It is.
Oof. It's pretty sweet.
It's got the gold hardware.
It doesn't have a Bigsby on it though, but that's all right.
It does not have the Bigsby, but
you could add one real fast.
He's asking $725. You can make an offer. I know it's a little bit more than like the one that I talked about earlier, which was at $499.
Yeah, that was just a stock one though.
But this one,
that one is stock, but that one's just got a little bit better top.
This one's got, it's got the better tops. I'm sure it's got the upgraded pickups in it. I'm positive. He doesn't go through the specs, which really bugs me because I wanted to see how different that was between this one and your newer ones.
Yeah, there's no telling. Is it? Does he? He said he just got it, so it's kind of brand new. I guess
he's had it for 8 to 9 months.
So it's, I don't know, probably a year old, 2 years old, probably.
It's set up now with 11s, played one show, recorded an album, and some practice sessions with this guitar. Hard case is included.
So it's got a hard case. Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad. But it is $725, but if you can find another Koa, I haven't found one yet.
Makes me wonder what's out there. Guys, if you know anything about a Koa topped Epiphone Wildcat, let's hit up Jim.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Start that GoFundMe just like for that big Eddie Van Halen guitar from a few weeks back.
Yeah, if we're still looking for $250,000.
We're still looking for that one.
Anybody that owns any stock and he's like, oh, I've got $250,000 to spare, go ahead and get that EVH
just
guitar.
Go ahead and hit us up, Facebook.com Guitar Buyers Pod. We will make your guitar dreams come true.
I can show you that.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good in the case.
But this is C-Mart. Shout out to them out of Bluntsville, Tennessee.
Bluntsville, Tennessee.
Or Bluntville, Tennessee.
Whoa, even. Okay. Well, guys.
Somewhere Snoop Dogg perked up.
It looks like that is your main event for the Guitar Pirates Podcast Gear Acquisition Syndrome for your May 2nd episode. We call this one 5 Alive.
5 Alive.
Guys, I know I said this the last time, probably said it a few more times. Winding up to throw it down. Here is your main event of the evening. Your headlining act. Guys, we're getting a little nerdy. More nerd stuff here.
I don't want to interrupt, but you forgot one.
Oh, because I'm forgetting stuff all over the place. I know that I usually throw out the cliffhanger, and if you guys were listening, again, happy birthday, happy belated birthday, Willie Nelson. You are the Guitar Pirates Podcast Beard of the Week.
Beard of the Week.
So, there's so many iconic images of Willie and his beard, and I know he shaved it off, and he's cut his hair off before, and done different things, but happy birthday to Willie. Congratulations, Guitar Pirates Podcast Beard of the Week, Willie Nelson.
But wait, We have an honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Guys, anybody who's going to go out of their way to save a sweet old Les Paul, one of the first ones ever made. Guys, if you haven't seen Jared James Nichols, he's rocking a sweet mustache. Goes right along with his awesome flowing locks. He looks good with it. He rocks it out. Give it up. Jared James Nichols, Willie Nelson, your Guitar Pirates podcast, Beard of the Week, and honorable mention. If I'm not forgetting anything else,
no,
we are going to roll right in to your headlining act, your main event of the evening for your May 2nd Guitar Pirates pod. Guys, jumping on down into the dirt, down into the mud, down into the deep, dirty stuff. Guys, we're going to talk about bugs.
Dirty, dirty bugs.
Dirty, 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 dirty bugs. And we're also going to talk about Fender guitars. Fender guitars and bugs, what could bring them together? And that's the wood, baby. We're bringing the wood. Fender says they are phasing out or discontinuing swamp ash guitars. I'm looking over at the rack and I already see one, and I already know where another swamp ash guitar is that I own up in the living room.
So that value's about to...
value on your swamp ash, probably like rosewood guitars, or rosewood fingerboard guitars. Probably going to go up. I think what I've read, they're still going to use it in their higher end guitars. Probably so custom shop. Of course, probably limited runs.
And save for your artist series.
Save for all the big time stuff. But
mass production.
We all know Jimmy's Dragon Telly was a ash body guitar. I mean, we all know that Jeff Beck used ash body guitars. Keith Richards, Bruce Springsteen, Buddy Guy. Could all think about the guitars they used that were ash. It's kind of a sad thing to see it go, because it was a tone wood that was just used on those original stuff. I mean, we all know what ash is. It's got that great grain in the wood, especially when it's a natural looking. It just kind of goes back to the origins of Leo Fender and just how plentiful it was. And some of that swamp ash is really light, and that's why it was used. Who wants to load around a boat anchor? I think heavy guitars are great, but in the scheme of things, if you're a traveling man, you're a working man, who wants to work with a big old heavy hunk of whatever?
If you weigh 110 pounds, you don't want to be holding.
Yeah, you weigh 110 pounds soaking wet. You don't want a big old block on you.
Like, I have a 9.5 pound guitar, and people, it's only 9.5 pounds. Go strap the thing on your neck and go walk around and play that thing for an hour and tell me how you feel afterwards.
Yeah. Ash grown in standing water. Kind of odd how it's grown. Grown in standing water. Really, can make it really light, really malleable, really easy to work with. But in recent years, where it's been grown and where kind of plentiful production of it is to be had, this waters have been receding. We've been having climate crises. Things just aren't the way they used to be. It's going away. It's being used up. A lot of people have been using it. More guitar companies come about, more people are going to use it.
See, that's one thing I was about to say is I wonder if this is all across the board, if this is just Fender.
That's probably all across the board. Probably like Rosewood, I imagine, but it's going to be most hit by Fender because they're more iconic for it.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly.
Guys, it's literally a shiny green beetle about the size of a grain of rice that's compounding the problem. It's literally eating it.
And
an invasive species of beetle.
And there's no way to
I think control. If you try to control it, you end up killing the trees.
Exactly.
Shout out to Kenton Ford. He probably knows more about that than I do.
Yeah.
Kenton, comment for us. Tell us what we need to know.
Now, does it say where does the swamp ash? I wonder where they harvest it from. Louisiana.
Well, it looks like a Mississippi Delta area.
Yeah, Mississippi. Yeah, that's what I figured. Louisiana, Mississippi.
I'm reading through this here, and I'm trying to figure out the name of this said beetle. Emerald ash borer. An emerald ash borer native to East Asia, first detected in the U.S. in 2002, has decimated ash trees, killing tens of millions across the country.
Oh my goodness. So I wonder if they have. I'm sure Fender's got a good stockpile right now, but I'm sure once those are.
It's just crazy that something like this is going to happen. It's almost like the coronavirus in a sense. Is they've just shown up and it just eats ash. That's like eats ash trees. That's just what it does. It's just nature eating itself.
So I wonder. Let's hope that doesn't go to other woods.
I'm sure there is, but I mean, I'm sure with ash being so soft and in a wet environment, yeah, things are thriving. If there's water around, things are living.
I wonder if that's what the those swamp dudes.
Probably there's probably something to deal with it. But yeah, this is just. I wonder how this is going to affect Fender. Period.
I wonder what the prices are going to be. I wonder if going to.
I mean, you still see some swamp ash stuff out today. I bought 2 recent Telecasters that are ash.
I mean, in the future state, whenever they completely are lined out, your lower models.
Yeah.
I
wonder what they're gonna do. I know that those Esquires are NATO bodies. I don't know what NATO is. Probably some form of pressed wood or whatever. So there goes ash there.
I can't remember what my Jim Root Telly was. I think it was mahogany.
Probably that or alder or something. I can't remember right off the top of my head. There'll be something for our dirty laundry for next week.
That's
but yeah, an emerald wood boring beetle taking out all of Fender's ash supply. It looks like, they're doing their best to, kind of like preserve it and do what they can. But it's a hard decision. They're saying, there's still, what they're saying here, quote, a quote here, there's part of this that it's like an end of an era, like an end of an era for Fender guitars. It's crazy. People are, obviously are trying to find some sort of alternatives to this. There are some stuff that like researchers have identified lingering ash trees that have survived. So there's a little bit here and there's little silver linings to some of this stuff.
And there's no, say, going to like England or something.
A little high. They are taking the surviving trees, and breeding them with green ash species.
So little hybrids?
A little hybrid ash to start a project, kind of growing their own trees on their own ash trees.
And I'm sure it's got to be subtropical climate.
With a collaborative initiative between the U.S. Forest Service, Fender, and the nonprofit American Forest. That's how they're saving them. They're literally saving the ones that have been infested, saving them and going and breeding them with other ash tree species. Fender and the Forest Service. So they're already combating these beetles.
And that's literally going to combat. They're not going to invasive on those other.
I don't know. Obviously, they're just hitting these species are just hitting, these regular old swamp ash. This green ash, they're obviously not hitting them because they're breeding them with them. So there could be something saved, a hybrid alternative here.
I wonder why they don't just use green ash. Maybe they don't have as many. Or it's maybe more porous and not as...
Plans are underway to plant the first of these trees in Detroit, near where the beetle was first detected. If successful, the project will ultimately take decades. But, hey, it's something.
It started in... You just don't think of Detroit and swamp ash wood. That's not where I would have envisioned.
I think they're doing it also to bring it back to where were first seen, and I also think it's probably some sort of field test too.
Yeah. And plus,
Put it back there. Are they going to attack it again?
Right.
Are they going to like chew it up and we don't have anything?
And plus, Detroit's a huge international airport spot, so I mean, a
it's
lot
good.
of
Hopefully, they can bring something back to Detroit
because a lot of those bugs coming in on cargo ships and junk.
And I mean, when you get into like, I'm gonna say a bad word here, guitar players, tone woods and stuff. For me, ash is up there. You look at a lot of the legendary stuff, and people are recording on Fenders, basses and stuff, guitars, whatever. It's all ash. That's such a good tone wood. Ash bodied anything is just. It rings. It's soft. It's malleable wood. You cover it in nitro, and it's gonna even sing more. Don't poly an ash bodied guitar. But it seems like they're doing stuff to take action.
So it'd be something like that'll be a follow-up story for sure.
Yeah, follow-up story for sure. But it looks like they are running in a new way here. Fender employs a torrefication process with pine for replacement for ash.
Pine?
Yep. Pine was used on some of the early stuff too in the 50s. Early Strats, early Tellys were made out of pine.
Figured pine.
Buddy Guy's got pine guitars, I believe.
A little bit more, a little heavier, I would imagine, possibly. Well, you figure mahogany's more.
That's why I think pine's going to be relatively the same in a sense of like it can be light, it can be heavy. I think that's why they're using pine in a torrefication, because it gets really close.
And there's a lot of pine trees.
And there's a lot of pine. And you can recreate.
And a natural pine guitar would be gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's really cool. Fender is proactive here, trying to save its history, but yet realizing, hey, man, we got to evolve.
Yeah.
We can't just eat all this ash. We can't eat all this arse.
And see, another cool thing, though, is that they're not only trying to save their history, they're also trying to save a species of trees.
Yeah, they're also trying to save ash, like literally trying to, they aren't just, worried about making guitars. They're literally saving our lives. I mean, trees are oxygen, right?
Yep.
I know that's kind of a reach, but they're saving, a tree. They're saving nature.
Yeah. Are trying to evolve that tree to where it's not getting destroyed
they're
by
creating
bugs.
a real hybrid wood to create a new guitar.
I wonder if what that hybrid wood will look like. I wonder if it's going to have a little bit different grain, or if
I know. Ash is, this swamp ash is kind of open grainy, kind of wide in the grain. Wonder what's going to happen. Wonder if it'll be kind of any kind of swirls or there's no telling.
Like a burl wood. I keep saying burl wood.
There's no telling, but it is just a kind of one thing. I know we could kind of really get nerdy about it, but I just think that if you're a guitar player and you know Fender guitars, you know ash, that look, or that natural look with the wide, that wide grain, what you're looking at. And if you've played them, the tone. Rings out real well, sounds the best for a Fender guitar. I mean, you can't go wrong.
See, what if Fender used mahogany, alder, swamp ash? I think mahogany's
pine. I know they're using pine because of the buddy stuff.
I know mahogany's mostly in your.
I know that some Squires, some 50s classic vibes are pine because that's what they used in the 50s on those things. Like I said earlier, some of those I'm not 100% sure, but I know that there's some Squires that are made out of pine, and I debated on getting one because it was made out of pine. I know that for sure.
My Jimmer Telly was mahogany, which most of them are alder, so
still Les Paul vibe. Guys, I think that's probably going to round it out for your main event of the Guitar Pirates podcast for your May 2nd edition. 5 Alive, baby. We've made it. We're done. We're about to wrap this thing up, but I want to hit you guys with one thing. No, we're not doing this podcast for money.
Nope.
No, we're not trying to be whatever. We're literally doing this for fun. But as you can tell, we have put out some logos. We do have a little bit of artwork. Guys, are you guys interested in shirts? You guys interested in hoodies? Guys, I can do some sort of a dropship store maybe.
Guitar picks.
You know, guitar picks, cell phone holders, whatever, guys. Depending if you guys have a dropship store you like, let me know. I tried to do the Amazon thing, but you got to have a lot of followers to do that. So right now I'm looking at Printify. I've got 3 hoodies and I've got a shirt, different colors. I can make it live if you guys are interested. If not, we can work on some logos and try something down the road.
Yep.
Whatever you guys think, guys, hit us up on the Facebook. Guitar Pirates Pod, Facebook.com. GuitarPiratesPodcast.buzzsprout.com. If you guys want to check us out where you get all your podcasts: Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, Amazon. The Overcast app, I believe that's with Apple Podcasts, and I think we're in that one as well. But check us out, Guitar Pirates Podcast. This is your May 2nd, 2021. Episode 5, 5 Alive, baby.
Drive for 5.
Here we go. Until next time, I've been your host, Josh Jones.
And I've been your co-host, Jim Steger.
Peace.
Love you.